2 weeks after seeing their title rivals almost come unstuck at Craven Cottage, Manchester City made a trip to West London look as comfortable as a Saturday stroll along the neighbouring River Thames. Liverpool went through anguish to claim a late 2-1 win here. For City it was never in doubt from the moment Bernardo Silva fired them ahead inside 5 minutes. On Friday, Pep Guardiola said his side would suffer in the final months of the campaign. They undoubtedly will if they're to claim that historic quadruple, but there was very little in the way of suffering in the sun against doomed opposition in Fulham. Victory restored City to top spot in the Premier League, for a date at least, and what began as a marathon has turned into a sprint for the line. A year ago City were cruising to the Premier League title, the opposition melting as they tried to keep up with the relentless pace the Blues had set. They're not far off the pace this year, but this season Liverpool have, so far, matched them. It's made for a thrilling, enthralling title race for the neutral. With 7 games to go they've gone stride for stride, win for unrelenting win at the top of the table. A 9-month season has come down to the final 6-week dash. For City the picture is complicated by their involvement in the FA Cup and the Champions League. The Blues will welcome the clocks going forward, they're counting down the hours from one potentially defining game to the next. This is the conclusion to a season that just can't come quickly enough? You want the next game to come around as soon as the previous one has ended. They won't have to wait long. With Fulham ticked off, attention turns to Cardiff on Tuesday. Then an FA Cup semi-final. Then a Champions League quarter-final. Greatness beckons, but it's not going to come easy. Certainly not as easy as they made this win look. For the first time Guardiola discussed the possibility of a quadruple on a Friday. Now we are playing for the Cape, was the Catalans' take on the charge for the Premier League, FA Cup, and Champions League, to add to the Carabao Cup already won. Not every 90 minutes will prove as palatable as this. Tougher tests lie in wait, particularly in the Champions League and in the shape of league fixtures against Tottenham and Manchester United. If the last international break of the season was a chance to press the reset button ahead of what could be a final 15 games of the campaign, the Blues quickly rediscovered their rhythm. It was Manchester United loanee Timothy Fosu-Mensah who had a hand in City's opener. Guardiola's side had begun the game sharply, but with 5 minutes gone Fosu-Mensah, perhaps realizing a City title is more welcome at Old Trafford than Liverpool ending their long wait, gifted the ball to Kevin De Bruyne. He found Sergio Aguero, who laid it off to Bernardo when the Portuguese cut in from his right wing position and drilled a low shot into the bottom corner from 20 yards. City were laying siege to the Fulham goal in the early stages. Ilkay Gundogan and De Bruyne both fired straight at Sergio Aguero from 18 yards, when they should have done better, while neither David Silva nor Bernardo could force the ball home from close range after Raheem Sterling had broken into the box. Ryan Babel had glanced a header wide from a free kick to keep City on their toes, but it was more Fulham slapstick that helped City double their lead. Joe Bryan fell over as he attempted to pass back to Callum Chambers. Bernardo bounced on the loose ball and found Aguero, who wriggled into space in the box and clipped a neat finish beyond Rico. This was how Guardiola would have dreamt the opening half hour on Friday night. The game was won and City could take their foot off the gas, keeping some energy in reserve for the tougher tests to come. The chances continued to arrive, just not as frequently. Gundogan whipped a 20-yard shot narrowly wide from Bernardo's layoff at the end of the first half. Sterling forced Rico into a low one-handed save from a similar distance on the hour mark. By that stage Aguero had been withdrawn, moving gingerly to the bench as Guardiola tries to keep his star men fresh for the run-in. City were going through the motions now, this match long since won. With 25 minutes to go, one optimistic Fulham fan implored his side to go for goal more often, helpfully pointing the way towards Ederson in the process. The problem was getting close enough to have a go, such was City's control. "We can still win this," the Fulham fan screamed out. Even his own players might have raised a chuckle at that. As games go during title races, this was about as simple as you can get. No stress, no suffering, no anguish. City move on to their next challenge.